What is up, everybody, and welcome back. I am.
Hello there, Star Wars fans.
There you go. See, now that's someone that knows my show. No one, everybody just stays quiet, doesn't even like. Everybody doesn't say anything. Everybody just stands there. But we know Bobby's got this. We know Bobby's
just awkward and quiet. Is it my turn yet?
Is it my turn to speak?
Can I say hello? Yes, hello. Thank you for having me. Super excited to be here.
Guys, to the Scevoli Tano show. But this is the Scevoli Tano Tonight show. You know, I can't be Jimmy Fallon, but I'm Scevoli Tano. You know, this is a Star Wars themed episode. You know, we got the best of both worlds. It's like Hannah Montana. You know.
I gotta ask. So where does the name come from? Because we as fans have all kinds of different Star Wars themed names, right? And I gotta know where that one comes from. Obviously, a love for Ahsoka Tano.
Yes, of course, Tano is Ahsoka, of course, because she's my ultimate favorite Star Wars character. But
it's a good one to have.
My last name is Scevoli, so
makes sense.
I was like, I can mix it with something. You know, I always because Tano is like a natural name. Like you can name, like it could be like Robin Tano or Bobby Tano, you know, something like that. So
sure.
It's like, it goes with it. So I was like, why don't I fuse my name, Scevoli, and then add Ahsoka's name? I don't want to be like Scevoli Ahsoka. Like that doesn't sound
sure.
Right. So I was like,
no, it makes sense.
Yeah. So I was like a Scevoli Tano, and I was like, you know what? First name is Chris Scevoli Tano. There we go.
Makes sense to me. Very cool.
But Bobby is an amazing person. He has formed with a team of Star Wars gurus. They got into a little Jedi Council thing, you know. Bobby wasn't ranked master, but we won't talk about that. You know? I'll talk about that. But
that's why I broke that.
Yeah,
that's what did it.
But Rebel Scum Con is a new con in Texas.
Yep.
So if you're, I think it's June
27th through the 30th at the Allen Convention Center.
I think I was like, is it the 27th? I didn't want to say something and get wrong.
That is correct.
June 27th to June 30th in Texas is the first ever Rebel Scum Con. It is all Star Wars themed guests. So you have the likes of Ahmed Best, Luke Skywalker, Grant Feely from the Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
There's actually a few Lukes. There's at least 3, technically.
Oh, wow.
So there's Grant, who plays Little Luke in Kenobi. Actually, there's 4. There's Molly Miller, who doubled for both Grant and Vivian Lyra Blair. So she did stunts for both twins, as well as playing her own character in the Kenobi series. And there's C. Andrew Nelson, who voiced Luke in some of the older Star Wars video games back when he worked for LucasArts, and which was also back when LucasArts was a thing. And then there's Dickie Beer, who is, of course, most notably known as Boba Fett in Return of the Jedi, because he did all the stunts for Boba. So anytime you see Boba flying around or doing all the cool stuff at the Pit of Carkoon, that's Dickie. But he also doubled for Luke in the Pit of Carkoon and a few other moments in Return of the Jedi as well. So it's funny when you're seeing that face-off between Boba Fett and Luke, it's depending on which perspective you're looking at, it's Dickie fighting himself, which is really hilarious.
That's just fine. Boba Fett just and then the lightsaber just comes out, like that's crazy. That's cool.
Yeah,
because I know he's most known for Boba Fett, but he also did a lot of roles, like you said, Luke, and I think he played another role. I forgot. Role he played.
Multiple. He's got a few others. He was also a Gam Guard. In fact, he is the main Gam Guard at the Pit of Carkoon, but for the part when the Gam Guard falls into the pit. So when the Gam Guard's falling and getting eaten by the Sarlacc, that's Dickie at that point. Otherwise, it's our good friend Julius LaFleur, who will also be at Rebel ScumCon 2024. And Julius plays a Gam Guard, he plays a Weequay, he plays one of the Klaatu, and he also played he doubled for Billy D. Williams as Skiffguard Lando at the Pit of Carcoon as well.
Oh,
So technically, we will also have a Lando Calrissian at Rebel Scum Con, even though Billy D won't be attending year one.
wow. You guys got a lot of guests the first year. So
Oh,
my
yeah.
next question is for you. How did this all come about? Because we really never heard of a con like in Texas. Does Texas even have a con like that? I don't even know.
Not that Star Wars specific, other than RSC, no.
Oh,
However, Texas has lots of conventions and toy shows. Believe it or not, North Texas, the Dallas area specifically, is one of the largest, if not the largest, hub for collectible toys in the nation.
oh wow.
And it's actually pretty exciting. That's how I got involved with this venture in the first place. Was I came on board with one of my partners. His name is Joshua DeRozzo, through Order 66 Toys. And for those of you who don't know, Order 66 Toys was the first official licensed collectible Star Wars toy store, period. And we still operate. Now we've moved to a digital only format, and you can still catch our weekly Friday night live sale. It's 7 p.m. Central Time every single Friday for over 300 Fridays straight. We're about to celebrate our 6-year anniversary this July. So that's still going strong. And through that and being a part of the community of Star Wars collectors Facebook group, or CSWC, we've done a lot with that community over the years, which through COVID, a good ways through, that's when we got approached by Philip Wise, who was the original owner and creator of RebelScum.com. So RebelScum.com is the world's oldest and largest independent Star Wars fan website, not owned by Disney, but is a Disney affiliate website. And it's been around for almost 30 years now. And in that entire time, we had wondered why there was never an attempt for a Rebel Scum Con, so to speak. And so when we met with Phil for the first time, and that was, again, Joshua, my partner, and myself, we thought we were there for a totally different reason. And then as we were just having a conversation with them, it turned into, so if you guys had something like RebelScum.com, what would you do with it? And we started with some preliminary ideas, started talking about new kind of content ideas and implementing a regular content schedule. Something like make sure there's something new, some kind of new, fresh Star Wars content daily, which is a goal we not only achieved very quickly and have maintained, but not only is there content every single day on RebelScum.com, but we have so much content that we're actually quite often backlogged on how much content we have. So that's one of the things we were doing. And then one of the other things we brought up is we would love to do a Star Wars fan themed convention through Rebel Scum, because we feel like that would be really cool, since Star Wars, or sorry, cut since Star Wars. Since Rebel Scum has the largest fan forum globally, why don't we take the largest digital grouping of Star Wars fans and make a physical event where we can all come together, interact with each other? It's centrally located within the continental United States, so we can travel relatively easily from just about anywhere within the continental United States. I mean, you shouldn't have more than like a 3-4 hour flight at the most, if you're coming from one of the main attached corners. And DFW is a major hub that flies in and out of everywhere. So we had pretty much nailed convenience and ease of access in terms of location. And Rebel Scum was already founded kind of in the North Texas, Dallas area. So it was also kind of a means for us to not only, present this vast community with all kinds of awesome and incredible fans, but in addition to that, it allows us to share our home with the rest of the world too, because North Texas is quite lovely if you've never visited.
No,
And
I live in Texas.
it's quite nice. It's quite nice.
All my exes
The
live in
weather's been
Texas.
weird lately, but that's normal. We always say in Texas, if you don't like the weather today, give it a minute, because it'll be completely different by the end of the day. It usually and always is. So, and that's kind of where we came to with Rebel ScumCon. It was we had the location area pretty much down. Like I said earlier, we're already pretty much in the collectible hub anyway, and there was just so many reasons it made more sense to do it than not. Now, part of the reason our partner, Mr. Phillip, didn't do a Rebel ScumCon was man was very busy over the years, because he also owns and helps operate his other company, Official Picks, with his partner Ben Stevens, and they have also run their own conventions together. In fact, one of the largest conventions, if not the largest convention in the Dallas area, is Dallas Fan Expo.
Oh.
And
yeah, Dallas is in it.
Yep. And Dallas Fan Expo is so large that when the company that bought it, they rebranded the majority of their other shows as Fan Expo shows as well. If that tells you anything about how meaningful Fan Expo was and the people behind it to start. And of course, we'll be at Fan Expo this weekend covering that like we usually do, because there's always some cool stuff to cover at Fan Expo. It's a nice, awesome show. But Rebel ScumCon is going to be so much more focused than, your average Comic-Con or even your larger Comic-Cons, because this is all Star Wars all the time. And all of our guests are Star Wars guests. Some of them, yes, have other roles because, they're actors, of course. And we're also going to be excited to showcase some of those as well. If you look on rebelscumconventions.com and you go to our guests, you'll notice some of our guests not only have their Star Wars characters on there, but some of them might have non-Star Wars characters shown as well. And that's just because we're fans of other things too, despite the show having a Star Wars focus. You might not know that Carrie Jones, for example, who played Black Chrysanthemum in the Book of Boba Fett, also played one of the Predators in the movie Predators, which that's also really awesome. If you haven't seen Predators, it's a cool one.
It is. Now, I love how it's just a Star Wars themed show, because we don't have much of those around the globe. We know we have, like you said, the Fan Expo, we have New York Comic-Con, we have Rhode Island, and stuff like that, but there's not like a themed Star Wars for the whole Star Wars community to come together.
Other than Star Wars Celebration, of course, which is the biggest one. And over the years, there's been things like Jedi Con, and I think there was a Force Con, and there's been some other Star Wars themed shows. There's even a really cool one out of the state of California, which is a Legends themed Star Wars fan convention. In fact, I think we're actually going to be doing some more interactive stuff with them very soon. I think they're going to be at our show. I have to double check on that. But we had started a dialogue with them too, and try to unite ours and that community, because the other thing we're doing with Rebel ScumCon is we're trying to open the doors to all Star Wars fans, period. Because in my opinion, there's too much divisiveness amongst the fans.
Definitely. And
what we can all agree on is we all love Star Wars in some way, in some capacity, right? Because Star Wars is vastly huge at this point. It's grown so much further beyond just simply the original trilogy or prequel trilogy or sequel trilogy. I mean, the trilogies are, of course, the foundational part of what Star Wars is, but it's more than those things, too. And the thing with me is, whether you love all of Star Wars or you love almost none of Star Wars, except for maybe one movie or one TV show, that is totally fine. I still want to see you at Rebel ScumCon, because Rebel ScumCon is an event for all Star Wars fans from all walks of life, regardless if you love all of it or one tiny piece of it. You're still a Star Wars fan in my book.
You touched my little soul. You touched my little soul.
So partnering with an event, well, not necessarily partnering with the event, but establishing dialogue with another event, and hopefully promoting each other and doing content together is one of the many goals that I know I myself and my partners have for Rebel Scum Con, because it's not meant to be just our own little pocket of Star Wars or Star Wars fandom. It's meant to be, here's the Star Wars fandom. If you like Star Wars, come be a part of it.
Yeah, and if you need Scevoli there, I'm always there.
We do need you there. In fact, I think you've already been invited during one of our live streams. Actually, we caught you commenting live, which is how we got to this interview. And you're like, oh, what about content creators? And I'm like, what about content creators? Come on out. What's the requirements? You're a Star Wars fan. You've got some kind of media outlet, and yeah, I mean that's pretty much it, really. That's pretty much it. So
hey, if you need me to model something, I walk the runway. I got you.
Hey, you could model some of our con merch that's going to be there. We're going to have some con merch. There's pre-orderable con merch that is going to be different from the swag at the con. Now, you can also order that through Rebel Scum Conventions with an S. It's been up for quite a while. But we have made-to-order printed shirts. They are true to size from what I've experienced so far with not only myself, but a few other people who have ordered them. One of our guys just went crazy and he ordered at least 10 shirts. But there's all kinds of different shirt designs you can order in various colors and various unisex sizes. There's also other things such as a Rebel Scum Con official blanket. It's very nice. And a Rebel Scum Con official sundress, which has the pattern that you see behind me. Which is pretty cool. Yeah. We put some neat options. There's also cups and other things too.
Oh, cool. Now, my next question is for you. So if you can't make it to Rebel Scum Con, is there any way, are you going to live stream, or are you for people that can't make it or they're not in the Texas area? Because I know some people, Texas is a huge state, Yeah. So there are going to be a lot of Texorians there.
Oh, yeah.
But if someone can't make it, like myself, maybe I couldn't make it. How can I be involved still with the con?
So just make sure you're following all of our various social media channels and outlets. Make sure you're checking rebelscum.com itself daily as well. There is going to be a little bit of a lag in between some of the more hard recorded content and just kind of spontaneous spur of the moment. So the best thing I can say for that is just make sure that you're following us on Instagram, X, Meta, TikTok, Discord. We're on all of those outlets. Our YouTube videos go to the rebelscum.com YouTube channel, and there will be sorry you missed it, but here's what you missed type content as well after the fact, including our panel content and other things, because we plan to record as many of the panels, if not all of the panels from start to finish, and have those posted later. But that's also going to be up to however the editor of rebelscum.com wants to present that stuff as well. But it's going to be cool. There will be video content in case you miss it. And also, for those of you who are out of town, we do have a send-in service available that is currently live. It ends June 9th is the last day to get in orders. But we have a send-in service for Ahmed Best, Vivian Lyra Blair, and Grant Feely through Everest Autographs. So just go to everestautographs.com, or there should be a way to reroute you through Rebel Scum Conventions with an S.com as well. But those are the three guests we have send-in service for. And in case you might be new to the send-in service scene or don't know how that works, basically what it is when you go to the website and you select the way you're purchasing your autographs and you're sending in an item, you're going to be given a deadline of when you need to send it in by, which is June 12th is when those items need to be received. So I would send them in at least 3 days ahead, so probably no later than the 10th. And Or if you don't want to send something in, if you're not super comfortable with that, we totally understand. There will be 8x10 photos you can select on the website as well. There's several for Ahmed Best. There's several for Grant Feely, and several for Vivian Lyra Blair as well. If you could edit out that tongue tie, that would be wonderful.
This is really big. I'm really happy that this is happening. I'm excited just sitting here. Where's my plane ticket? We gotta get ready.
We haven't even started talking about different panels, of which the panel event schedule is now officially up. So the current events, including tabletop gaming tournaments, workshops done by various members of the 501st, and like a Sabacc for Charity workshop with our good friends who are doing Sabacc tournaments at Rebel Scum Con. You can check out their booth and learn how to play for free, as well as participate in their charity tournament, which they're helping raise money for Ronald McDonald House of Dallas with us. And that tournament is on Saturday. So you can learn all weekend long how to play for free at their booth if you like, and participate in a tournament. There will also be Star Wars Unlimited play, Star Wars X-Wing play, Star Wars Legion play at Rebel Scum Con. So lots of fun Star Wars tabletop gaming and tabletop gaming tournaments. The Battle for North Texas is back, as we call it. That was started with Order 66 Toys, and it was an X-Wing tournament at first. Now it's X-Wing and Legion, and that will be happening over the weekend. There will be VIP areas and things like that for those who have purchased their VIP passes. And there's even going to be panels and live demonstrations and lessons by some of the Star Wars actors and actresses themselves, hosted by them. So there's going to be a live lightsaber class with Demetrius Bistreski, one of the Darth Vader suit actors from the Kenobi series, who will be teaching a class Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 2 p.m. each day. And it is a scaling class, so it's not going to be the same thing each day. It's going to be, here's class 1, here's class 2, and here's class 3, and they all build off of each other. But it's just part of the event. So once you get your pass and you're inside the convention, if it's around 2 o'clock and you're at the demonstration area inside the vendor room, take part in Demetrius's class, because it's going to be really cool. And I think I heard he might be doing some giveaways. Speaking of which, a lot of other members of the collector community have come forward and helped out with prizes for our various Star Wars fans. BigBadToyStore.com donated a large amount of prizes, which we went live about the other day. In fact, I think that's the one you were watching. And Gentle Giant / Diamond Distribution, they donated a bunch of prizes. And another local store, good friends of ours, are called Madness Games and Comics, have also donated a lot in prizes. Those will be given away throughout our tabletop gaming tournaments, cosplay contests. There's an adult and a kids cosplay contest over the weekend. They will be given away through a scavenger hunt hosted by Publish AR, which is an augmented reality service, which is free through a phone app. And what they do is they enhance your con experience when you have your smart device or phone with their app signed on. You can look at different con signage or certain 8x10s from certain celebrities, and a video will play from maybe that celebrity, for example, of Rory Ross, because Rory Ross is involved with Publish AR. And you'll get like a personalized video of, hey, thank you so much from me to you for coming to Rebel Scum Con, or something like that. And that's just one of the other things that we are doing with Rebel Scum Con that we're very excited about. And I think Publish is doing their official launch with us at this event. So we're really excited to partner with them as well. And they'll be doing a free scavenger hunt where you use their app to find certain things on certain images or posters or banners throughout the convention, and possibly win some of those free prizes I mentioned earlier.
Oh wow, there's so much you could do at this con.
Oh yeah, it's a jam-packed 4-day event. It's not just a, here's a quick meet and greet, here's, a Star Wars celebrity or two, pick up your autograph and we'll see you later. This is a Star Wars fan convention. This is a Star Wars fan culture event.
We need one in New Jersey. You gotta bring it over here.
Someone played with the idea of maybe making it a floating con, kind of like Celebration, but honestly, and as much as I love Celebration, that's kind of one of the things where I'm like, I wish it was in a more fixed place. In addition to having it floating, I feel like it should kind of be both. And who knows, maybe Rebel Scum Con will get like that on within the next decade or so, because we already are planning year 2. So, but you don't worry, we're not planning on making people wait multiple years for year 2. We hopefully year 2 should be 2025.
That's really cool. Like, I'm really excited for you guys over there. I really am.
We are too. It's gonna be a very fun event, and like I said, the community, more and more of it has been getting more involved. More pocket and sectioned off Star Wars communities are starting to talk to us, and they're like, hey, wait, y'all are doing this? How can we be involved? And we're like, just show up, just come be a part of it. And it's like, really, that's it? Yeah. it's that simple. We're trying to keep Rebel Scum Con both as fun and eventful as possible, but also as simple as possible. Yeah. I really mean it when I say, if you like Star Wars, you're gonna have a good time. Just come out. It's gonna be a blast.
Really cool. That's really cool. And it's, guys, this is June 27th to the 30th in Texas. What part of Texas?
North Texas. So we're in the North Dallas area, technically Allen, Texas, and it will be at the Allen Convention Center with Marriott in the Waters Creek area. And for those of you who are traveling from out of town, there's lots of good shopping in the Waters Creek area right across the street from the hotel. And it's a very comfortable, quick walk. There's nice restaurants over there. There's nice little cafes. One of my favorite spots, especially if you're getting up early in the morning, is the Frog Cafe. It is quite lovely. And if you're looking for a good place to get a latte, they do the leaf and everything. I love it. And then, of course, for those of you who just need some time to unwind and maybe a comfortable, quiet place to sit, the Lion and Crown Pub is also quite wonderful as well.
Oh, wow. I might have to plan a trip to 2025 to the Rebel Scum Con. I might have to come.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you got to plan your trip for this one, too, because I've already got you marked down for passes, by the way.
I'm gonna have to pull something out.
You're gonna have to figure it out, because, like I said, you've got press passes.
Oh wow, that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk more about that off the camera.
Okay. We can talk about that more off camera.
You guys are awesome.
No, you are.
I try to do that. Try. I don't have my makeup on right now. Bobby.
Me neither.
You're making me blush over here with all this excitement, you know?
That's okay. That's okay. Just be yourself, man. That's all you got to do. Just be yourself.
I know. Now, my next question. So you have all these Star Wars guests.
Yes.
Who are you most excited to see?
Ahmed Best.
Really?
Didn't even have to think about it. Ahmed Best. Now that said, many of you watching don't know that I actually know many of these Star Wars guests personally, and I've interacted with a lot of them several times. I haven't actually engaged or had a physical conversation with Ahmed Best yet, which is partially why I'm so excited about him most and unhesitant saying, oh, it's Ahmed Best, because I, like many others, and very much, most likely like you yourself, grew up with the prequels first. Now, of course, the first thing I ever watched was the original trilogy because, it's just how it is. But, I mean, the prequel trilogy was my trilogy. My first Star Wars movie in theaters was Attack of the Clones. I mean, I could have seen Phantom Menace, but we just couldn't afford it back then, or the lines were too crazy, and the lines were crazy back then. But yeah, Ahmed Best has always been a Star Wars actor I've wanted to be, because I've always loved Jar Jar. He's always been a fantastic and fun character, and it's funny. I was paying attention a little bit more to different things in Star Wars as I've been on different rewatches, because every time I rewatch, I look for different things. And this time I was like, you know what, I want to focus on Jar Jar, because there's been a lot of Jar Jar love, especially for the 25th anniversary. Ahmed's been more active in the fandom. He's been going to more events. And, you know, he just came back as Keller and Beck, which got a big fan love resurgence for him too, which was awesome. And Keller and Beck's awesome, but, I mean, he's no one true Sith Lord, you know? And going back and rewatching... Right. And I'm glad they're finally doing it for real. That's so great. Even if it is a Lego special, I'm excited to watch it. I don't know why people are so surprised by how funny the Lego specials are, because they're awesome. Really cool. They're very, very entertaining, especially the last few. I feel like they've only gotten better and better as they keep going. Like the Obi-Wan Kenobi Vacation one was a blast. Always a lot of fun. R0G. R is, I mean, one of my all-time favorite Star Wars characters, period. Love Roger. And now we're getting Darth Jar Jar. We're getting Jedi Bob, played by Bobby Moynihan. So he's Jedi Bob in real life, and that's really exciting. I'm really happy for him on that too. And we're, you know, actually getting an official Jedi Bob. Like that's actually the name now. It's not just a fan thing anymore. So that's also really cool. And yeah, I'm just really excited about all of it, you know?
I'm really excited for this con. Like, you have animation, voice actors, you have live action, you have the people that do the stunt work, and you have everything fused into one Star Wars con, and it's amazing. And you have content creators. I don't know who I think you posted them. I'm not sure who it is, but I know you posted some.
Yeah,
Carly King, is she on there?
I think so. We've been collaborating with a lot of different content creators for Rebel ScumCon, and trying to get more involved as always too, because, you know, we think they would have a lot of fun. But yeah, that name sounds familiar. I've been working with a ton, so I apologize if I don't remember all of the account names. I'm always better with faces with names. Sorry. Let's cut that part, because I feel bad for not remembering the name. Sorry, what was the question again?
I said you have so much. You have best of both worlds. You have voice actors, live action actors, the stunt people. You have content creators.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you keep track of all these people?
Luckily, we've been putting it all up. Well, not all, because we haven't really started adding content creators to the website. Although that's an interesting thing to maybe do year 2, because I don't think cons usually do that. Is here's the content creators joining us, unless they're like a content creator guest, you know, on their guest list. But I don't know. That's interesting. I haven't really. We've also been learning some new things as we go too. It's very much a learning on the job type of experience in a lot of ways.
Yeah, because this is the first time you guys are doing this, so it's good.
Right. Well, it's the first time under the Rebel Scum brand. My partner Josh actually ran Epic Comic Con out of Florida for 6 years. So for him, this is his 7th convention. For me, this is my first hosting officially, as well as my other partner, Kentucky. This will also be his first. But as far as running conventions in the past, luckily we've had quite a bit of people on the team with a lot of really good experience. And while I've said we've been learning a lot of things along the way, luckily we've got a lot of very good team members. Circling back to your other comment though about having all of the different guests and things, what I've been telling people is, yes, we have lots of guests. 40 plus, around 45 guests, in fact.
Wow.
And not only do we have that many guests, but they're all Star Wars actors or in some capacity or another. And we have Star Wars characters from the very beginning of Star Wars all the way back in 77 to Star Wars projects that have yet to come out, because we also have some actors on cast right now who are in shows such as the Skeleton Crew, which Skeleton Crew's not out yet. So
Yeah.
there's stuff from projects that have come out in the beginning and pretty much everywhere in between, and stuff that is yet to be seen, which is just another exciting aspect to Rebel Scum Con. Is we tried to cover a little bit of everybody as much as possible.
Yeah, because you have such a vary of like I said, vary of guests. Like it's amazing.
Variety.
You got all these variety. Like you got all these people, and it's amazing because they're all Star Wars fans, Star Wars people, and what you guys are doing is great. I really got to give it to you guys, because there's not only, like you said, we only have Celebration, and we see everybody, and I never been to a Celebration, but I
dude, Celebration is great. Dude, Celebration is so awesome. It is a blast, but it's also a very complicated event. It's also a lot, and it can also be pretty exhausting. I mean, you're going like crazy, and Celebration didn't start out like that either, but oh yeah, dude, Celebration is huge. It's awesome. If you haven't gone, if you're able to maybe make it to Japan, I would try for it, because you're in for a treat if you go, because I know we're gonna be trying to go as well. So or at least we're currently working on our logistics of making our travel plans to Celebration Japan. All I'm saying is, if you have the opportunity, I would go to Celebration. It is an awesome show.
It is. I've seen a lot of things and a lot of guests go, because I'm a big animation guy, so I love animation to like the T. Live action I like too, but it doesn't feel right like animation.
And we all have our preferences. Like I said earlier, whether you like the smallest part or the biggest part. And there's lots of fans who prefer just animated stuff. There's fans who want nothing to do with it. And that's okay, because we both love Star Wars.
Yep, we do. But my next question to you, Bobby, is, now you mentioned earlier in the show about panels. What kind of panels will we be seeing? Like, what kind of... I know you mentioned the games and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But what kind of panels can we see? Do we see Grant and Vivian do a panel by themselves? The two. You
will see a panel with Grant and Vivian. Yes, we do currently have a plan for panel. I believe it's actually called Star Wars: The Next Generation or something like that. And I believe that's the panel that's gonna feature Vivian and Grant. It might also have Evan on there as well.
Oh yeah, Evan. I have to double check.
Yeah, Jason Syndulla will be there as well. We actually have a couple of Ahsoka cast members who are attending. We have Jason Syndulla, who is played by Evan Whitten, and we have Marok, who is played by Paul Darnell.
Yeah.
And we're also very excited to have Paul out, because Paul has played lots of other characters other than just Marok as well. He's also a Death Trooper. He's also a few other alien characters. He's one of the Shriek-Hawk Mandalorians in Season 3 of The Mandalorian. In fact, not only is Paul Darnell one of those Shriek-Hawk Mandalorians, he's one of the Shriek-Hawk Mandalorians getting a Black Series figure later this year that just got announced yesterday. So that single Phase 4.5 or Phase 5.0 Black Series box, whatever you want to call it, of the single Shriek-Hawk Mando, that's Paul Darnell's Shriek-Hawk Mando. So he will be there. We also have 3 other Shriek-Hawk Mandalorians attending Rebel Scum Con. We have Lisa Gabe, who is also getting a figure. She was in the 2-pack of Shriek-Hawk Mandos that was announced yesterday. And then we have Rory Ross, who I mentioned earlier, who's going to be working with us and Publish AR, and Daniel Romero. Now, unfortunately, Rory and Daniel don't have figures yet, but if they're already doing the other 3 Shriek-Hawk Mandos, because I think there's like 4 or 5 officially that are labeled Shriek-Hawk, they're the other 2. So hopefully we'll see them very soon. Get action figures, that is.
That's really awesome. Because I just had Dimitri on my show, Dimitri Karas.
Yeah,
I think he's going to be there.
he's going to be there as well. Yes.
So I had him on yesterday. The show. He was amazing, and Rory will also be coming on the show.
Oh, dude, Rory is another guy. You're gonna get him going, and he's just so much fun to talk to. He's really great.
By the messages, we're going back and forth, so we're scheduling a time with him. And then with Romeo, I think his name is Romeo, right?
Romero. Daniel Romero.
I'm trying to get him and Lisa on the show, but they haven't answered my DM. So this is a shout out to you guys. If you're listening, come on the show. Bobby's here. Bobby's here. We love Bobby. Come on. Yeah.
I love being here. Thank you.
But I'm so excited because little Jason Sedula is going to be there. And
yes.
I think Jason Sedula is like the next generation of Star Wars and what he's doing in Ahsoka and his big picture with Ezra and Keenan and Hera and stuff like that. So
man, I wanted to get Iman Esfandi out so bad to Rebel ScumCon this year. Unfortunately his schedule, he just couldn't make it because he had something else going on the weekend of our event. But I mean, he is just such a pleasure to talk to. I've gotten to have a few in-person conversations with him at a few different conventions here and there. And I mean, just every time you just go to have a conversation with him, he's just another huge Star Wars fan. And of course, he nailed it as Ezra.
He did.
I thought he was absolutely amazing as Ezra in Ahsoka. So hopefully we'll see him on year 2. But the guys we've got from Ahsoka are really great. I don't recall if we're going to have Paul in a panel or not, circling back to the panel question. But yeah, the kids will be doing the panel. There's going to be a panel with all 3 The Mandalorian suit actors. In fact, there's going to be quite a bit you're going to get to do with some of these groupings, because some of these groupings that we have for panels are also some of the groupings we have available for photo op opportunities as well. Because in addition to just getting autographs or group autographs, which you can pre-order ahead of time, you can also purchase your photo ops with some of these groups, like the 3 Mandalorians or the 3 Darth Vaders, and or just a single The Mandalorian. Maybe Brendan Wayne is your favorite Din Djarin actor. Well, Brendan Wayne is going to be at Rebel ScumCon, and you can get his autograph, and you can get a photo op and meet and greet with him, or you can attend the panel with Brendan Wayne, Lateef Crowder, and Barry Lowen, all 3 of the main suit actors who played Din Djarin in The Mandalorian. And I shout out to Pedro too. We love Pedro as well, but Pedro was just simply unavailable, and he was the only Din Djarin actor we couldn't get for Rebel ScumCon year 1. But we are very excited to present Brendan, Lateef, and Barry, because they are very talented. I mean, they just like, with Vader and Boba, those other suit actors do a lot to bring that character alive, and it's awesome to showcase them as well in their unique experiences. So you'll get to experience a panel with them. You'll get to experience a panel with the 3 Dark Lords of the Sith I mentioned earlier. C. Andrew Nelson, who has been Darth Vader more than anybody else in Star Wars, officially, according to Lucasfilm, over 70 times in the suit. Oh, wow. And we have Demetrius Bistresky, which I also mentioned earlier. And we have Tom O'Connell, who is the other Darth Vader suit actor from Kenobi other than Demetrius, because the main 2 suit actors were Demetrius and Tom O'Connell. And then Hayden was in the suit mostly for the scenes where either his face were visible or, for behind the scenes, show him in the shoot spots.
Tom O'Connell is the bomb. He's really nice.
Tom O'Connell is another super nice guy. And so we're super excited to have those Vaders out, and they'll have a panel talking about their unique experiences. And that's actually going to be hosted by another influencer, Nick, codenamed Fulcrum, in case you've heard of him and his channel. If you haven't, go like and subscribe to that one if you haven't already, as well as this one and Rebel Scum, of course. And he'll be hosting that panel, and we'll have a few other content creators and Star Wars fan hosting other panels like Kevin Lyle and myself and a few others.
Wow, that's amazing. I could cry, but I don't want to cry now. You know, maybe later when off the camera we'll both cry together.
Okay. Or on the camera. It's okay. I'm not afraid to cry. I cried during Rise of Skywalker. I'm not ashamed to admit it.
There you go.
I cried pretty hard, actually. It was the Han Solo scene that did it for me. Loved it. Beautiful.
Yeah. Han Solo. But my last question to you, Bobby, before we go.
Yes.
0 to 100. How excited are you?
Now, can I exaggerate and go over, or is this one of those I need to stay within the parameters type thing?
You can go off the perimeter if you want.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go about 12 parsecs past the 100, just because I'm pretty excited, man. I'm both, on the back end, the business side, it's like, okay, we could probably wait another week or two, but like as a fan, with the experiences we have coming up, we have prepared. I'm just, can it start now? Because I'm just super excited. There's gonna be so much cool stuff going on. I'm gonna be cosplaying a few times as much as I can. I'm trying to get my cosplays ready, actually, because I have a few. Some of them have been in storage for forever, and some of them have been on a work table for forever. In fact, I have friends who are going to be showing up at cosplay. Of course, all of the 501st, Rebel Legion, Mando Mercs, Saber Guild, Droid Builders, etc. will be attending as well, and they're going to have a huge back area for Rebel Scum Con. In fact, one of the biggest those groups have been given in a North Texas convention in recent years. So we're really excited to showcase those guys as well as everything else. And yeah, I'm just super excited. Let's start now. Not right this second, obviously, because you still got to book your flight and hotel, but so you can hang out and do it with us. But yeah, let's start now.
Start now. But Bobby, thank you so much for coming on the Scevoli Tano Tonight Show.
Thank you for having me.
Everything about Rebel Scum Con. That is June 27th to the 30th. You guys can get your tickets now. Put the link in the description. I'll put everything. All the guests are on their official page, Rebel Scum Con official page on Instagram. So go follow them. Put the notifications on so you guys can get any more guests. I think the final guests were Grant Feely and Vivian. So go get your tickets. Oh,
there is another.
Oh.
Yes. Right. So remember how we said way back when Grant and Vivian were kind of our last?
Yeah.
I lied, as I have from the beginning. Well, I wasn't actually lying from the beginning. Literally Monday. Yeah?
Oh, wow.
No. Maybe it was Sunday. Sunday or Monday morning. One of the two. We got reached out to by another guest we were hoping to get for Rebel Scum Con Year 1, but we're told we couldn't. And then he said, hey, I want to be a part of it. So, question, when is this going up?
Maybe a
this
week
video?
or so.
Within what?
Within a week. It could be next week.
Oh, it'll be next week?
Yeah.
Okay, then I can announce this now. When next week? Do you know?
It depends when my editor gets it done.
Will it be before the 14th?
I can make that happen.
If you can make it before the 14th, then I have one more thing to plug.
Yeah, I'll ask him to make it let's do this. He'll probably give it to me probably in 2 days or a day.
Cool.
But yeah.
Cool. Works for me. Okay. Oh, right. Sorry. So, well, at this point, we've already announced it. Well, we did just actually announce another guy. So, oh wait, I already said the other part. Okay. Hang on. Well, we did just, that's not going to follow up well. Okay, I got it now. Okay. So, if you're ready, and we did just recently announce this, Tate Fletcher the heavy Mando himself, and it because we technically had one, but the heavy Mando himself will be at Rebel Scum Con 2024. You can come meet Paz Vizsla.
He's awesome. I've had him on the
Oh,
show
yeah.
and met him in person.
Yes.
He is a lovable teddy bear. That's what I can say about him.
Tate is an absolute pleasure to have a conversation with him, and I've also done interviews with him too. In fact, you can see those on rebelscum.com. I'm gonna have to go back and check yours out though, because I want to see the questions you asked him. And yeah, Tate's gonna be at Rebel Scum Con 2024. So we'll actually have two Paz Vizslas, the main one and one of the other ones, because Tom O'Connell also played Paz in season 3 of The Mandalorian. So Tom and Tate will be doing Paz content together, which I'm excited about.
Yeah, Tate,
and that's so far, I think, for real this time. The last guest, unless the other guy we just reached out to responds in time, maybe possibly one more, but I'm pretty sure the last one's Tate. Pretty sure, maybe. Also, for those of you who haven't booked your hotel room, we were able to get a last minute extension for the 14th. So if you haven't booked your hotel by the 14th, absolute last extension on that discount room rate, which is once again $139.99 a night, and free parking at the venue all weekend long, which is roughly $18 a day if you don't have free parking. And there's no other way to get free parking. The hotel doesn't just offer that. So book through Rebel Scum Conventions with an S for your hotel if you haven't already. And we hope you have a comfortable stay while you're at Rebel Scum Con 2024.
And that's how we're going to end it.
Perfect.
But Bobby, thank you so much for coming on the show and talking.
Thank you for having me.
Rebel Scum Con. It's going to be it's going to really be exciting. And I'm so happy for you and your success with it. And year 2, 2025, I like how you're doing it every year too. That's good.
We hope to do it every year going forward. That's at least the initial plan. We want it to be an annual gathering, because why not? Yeah, it's Star Wars all year round, people, all year round. That's right. There's May 4th, but I live Star Wars every day.
Me too.
For me, it's an everyday thing.
It is. When I'm watching the people, I'm like thinking of like the Force. Like I'm better than these people. Yeah,
I don't feel that way, but it's definitely an everyday thing for me.
But before we go, Bobby, where can everybody find you on the social medias?
That's right. Once again, you can find Rebel Scum Con official social media channels on Instagram, Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it, Facebook or Meta, whatever you want to call it, and Discord. And then, of course, rebelscum.com, the main hub of all Rebel Scum Con or Rebel Scum, news and information in general, as there is still daily Star Wars content on rebelscum.com, and there is regular ScumCon updates there. But for the quicker and more immediate updates, make sure you're following us on our social media channels as well.
I will put all the links in the bio for you guys to support them. Bobby, once again, thank you so much for joining me on the Scevoli Time Tonight show. I can't wait for Rebel Scum Con. It might go down in history. It might go down in history.
I hope so.
Star Wars themed shows before Celebration.
I just hope it goes down in history as a fun Star Wars convention. I just hope it goes down in history as just a fun Star Wars convention for Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
Dang it, I messed that up again. Sorry. I just hope it goes down as a fun Star Wars fan convention that people are super excited and looking forward to attending.
Yes, and I think everybody will look forward to this. It's really amazing what you guys did. I'm really happy.
Thank you.
I'm so happy I could cry, but I'm not going to cry yet. That's later on.
You're allowed to.
Don't make me cry.
You're allowed to cry. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine to cry.
It is.
It's fine to express your emotions, man.
It is. But once again, thank you for everybody watching. Thank you to Bobby for watching this, being on the show and watching.
I'm watching it too.
You're watching it too.
Oh yeah.
But thank you guys so much for joining us. Please subscribe down below to the YouTube channel, The Scevoli Show, guys, for more awesomeness and, just more Star Wars. This is a Star Wars themed show.
click that like
See?
button down there too.
So,
Click
yeah,
that
there
like
you go.
button. Help the channel out. Click his like button.
Yeah.
Click subscribe. Then go over to Rebel Scum. Click
And
that
do the
like
same
button.
thing.
Click subscribe there, and then you'll be able to stay in touch with both of us
Yeah.
as well as
Yeah.
other awesome
It's like
Star Wars fans and content creators.
it's like Hannah Montana, like the best of
Right.
both worlds.
It's
You
the
know?
best.
You get it,
So
you get
just come hang out with us. That's all. If you like
Well-
Star Wars, come hang out with us. That's all we ask.
it. That's really much all we ask. We don't ask for much, just hang out with us.
Right.
We need friends.
Right. Just come watch Star Wars with us, talk Star Wars with us, play Star Wars action figures with us. We're good. Like that's it. That's all I want.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna be doing all weekend long.
There you go. And the Acolyte just came out too, which was amazing, but we can't get into that right now. We'll talk to that later.
So good. I loved it.
It was really good. But thank you for joining us, guys. I know
Thank you for having me.
We're just keep talking. We're just Star Wars gurus.
It would be so easy to just keep going.
It would.
Yeah. Well,
but Bobby will definitely be back on my show just for a breakdown or reaction of anything Star Wars. The Acolyte, Tales of the Jedi, Skeleton Crew. So don't be scared. Bobby will be back on the Scevoli Tano show. If he's always welcome on the show. But guys, be kind to one another, and may the Force be with you, my friends.
and we'll see you later, you rebel scum.
There you go. Bye.
In my life, when you find people who need your help, you help them, no matter what.